Good morning. Hello. Happy Thursday. We are here for a little bit more Axum back-end coding. Are you here to say hi? Sort of. Asitsu, hello. How are you all doing today? Hopefully pretty good. I went into I did my bike ride into work yesterday, which was interesting because there was one point where there was this like big police operation or something. Not exactly fun to ride through. Luckily it didn't look like they were actually like converging in on the house, just sort of hanging out in the street. But still not a little bit disconcerting. Luckily all that stuff was just like no actually big deal in the end. Just rode through it. But now I'm back here hanging out with you all, which is so much better. Okay, so what are we working on? Right now we're working on getting this jot token, and we need to add it to our user. So we have okay, yes, they're gonna jot verify, so they expected this token to be a string, but now they want to verify that it's a token. They're using this jot verify function. And by they, I mean, me. Me in the past wrote this. So I think that there is a way in jots. Just have Firefox open. Let's open you. There is a way in jots to validate or verify a token. I think it's like what, jot.io. We can, oh yeah, verify signature verified. This thing has this stuff. Okay, so what we can do is we can create a jot and then put it inside of here to see whether or not it's verified, which will let us know if this is going to work with our backend, which it should. I don't see a reason why it wouldn't work. All right, so under learning Axum, we have source, routes. I guess it's part of users, and so part of create users, we're going to want to create a jot for this. Oh, right, and here's this. Come back over here. All right, so here's this JSON Web Token. We can pull this in. Do you have? Oh, all one word, JSON Web Token. Okay, awesome. I don't think we've added that yet, right? Oh, I have. Okay, here it is. Okay, so complete examples are available. A basic one-on-one with a custom header in terms of imports and structs. Claims header. Okay, so we can encode, and then we can use default headers, which I don't think I need anything else. My claims. Reference to my claims. Our claim structs, it needs to derive serialize and or deserialize. Okay, so if I just have an empty claim. Okay. I kind of feel like creating a utilities folder in here. Why didn't you see utilities? You should have seen that. That tells me it's time to restart Rust Analyzer. Okay, so we have... Okay, you're happy here. We have mod. Okay, so we're gonna want probably something about jots. So like create like a jot rs. There we go. Now you're happy. And we can put all this stuff in here. So we have a claim. So maybe a struct user claim. Stacking, hello. You're enjoying all the features they've been adding, but they really need to step back and work on stability. Oh, are you talking about Rust Analyzer? Yeah, it's open source projects are weird in that way, because it's like things only get worked on if people want to work on it. And of course, new features are always the funnest. So that's why they get worked on. And stability is hard. Now that Rust Analyzer is being, is it being or has it been? It's rolled into the actual like Rust ecosystem. Like it's official now, right? Maybe they'll get actual like people paid to work on it and like work on the stability, because that's the only way I could imagine that stability is really going to happen. All right, so you need to derive, serialize, deserialize. Okay, so we have that, and then next up, okay, so it's our claims. The claims fields which can be validated. Oh, so like these are special claims fields. I think I'm gonna try to do it without any of this other stuff, but maybe I need to set this too. But okay, so we're gonna create the token using encode. Okay, so we're gonna have a function create token. What language am I working in? Okay, so create token. We're gonna have encode. Which, okay, you return a result string error. Do I have error? I do have error. Okay. Okay, so oh, and we can question mark you and you should be fine. All right, so encode headers. We want to header default. Header default headers claims is gonna be a reference to my claims. The struct is plural, so that's probably what that is. So and then key. So encoding key from secret. Okay, so secret as ref. So this will probably be some kind of environment variable we'll pass in. So reference encoding key from secret. Okay, so then this will be a keyboard cat dot as ref. Okay, we got that. So then back to users here. I want to create the token from this. So oh, you don't know how to find that. Okay. Oh, because it didn't make you public. That's why. Okay, so we're gonna do create token. Can I return a result here? I don't remember if I can return a result. So might have to do like an unwrap. I'll do an unwrap right now for right now, and let's see if we can return a result right afterwards. Okay, so we have view, and then okay, so we have username. Is that oh right, so username. We need the token. Token is a string. Let's use that. You should be rerunning that. So we can go to Thunder Client here. If we hit send, refused by the server because you're running on 3000 now. That's why. Hey, okay, that looks like a real token. So if I take you and we put you in here, invalid signature. Okay, so oh right, I don't know what algorithm is used by default. Oh, this is keyboard cat. Oh wait, that's okay. That's not correct. So mine is this. Okay, so yeah, keyboard cat as ref create you that creates this token. Are you all the parameters from the RFC are supported, but the default header only has type and alg set. If you want to set the kid parameter or change the algorithm, for example, we have to set the headers. When using HS256, okay, the key is always a shared secret, like in the example above when using RSA. If your key is in PEM format, it's better performance-wise to generate the encoding key. Okay. All right, so you are HS256 right here. So if I want to, like if I change this, see that just changes the, okay, so I feel like that's using this thing here. Yeah, paste the token here, edit the payload in secret. So you're not working. Invalid signature. Yes, I know that's a weak secret, but that, okay. That changed all this, which is not necessarily what I was expecting. Okay, let me try using a different, like a custom header in here. So we're going to do headers equals header new. Okay, you take an algorithm. And then HS256. Yeah, I know. I think it did. So I think when I'm mucking around in here, it's changing this. I was kind of hoping that when I paste this in here, it would update these too. It seems to be one of those like do it once, like do it over here, it changes here, do it here, maybe change here too if it works, but it's not a valid signature. Also, is it possible it's invalid? Did I like copy this wrong? No. There's these dashes in it. Those dashes, well, those dashes don't look that wrong comparatively speaking. But oh, okay, now you work. Okay, I'm confused now. Now this works if I paste this in? Is it because I put the right key in here? So if I do that, now you're invalid. I'm so confused. But then if I put keyboard cat, paste you in, and now you're valid. So AF, BC. No. Wait, how did I get that? Okay, copy you. EY, BC. Okay, so that's mine. Okay, now it's signature verified. I am confused, but okay, let's go back and let's update you to use 256, and then you are gonna be headers. Okay, if I re-hit you, you're exactly the same jot. Is that how it's supposed to work? I feel like it's supposed to be different every time. Maybe not. I'm thinking. Maybe I'm getting confused with hashes. This is HS. Yeah, HS256. Okay, so I'm using that user claim. Okay, so let's add in a user claim here. So if I do like pub this like I don't know, user ID like 55. What are you upset with? Oh, haha, type. User ID U32. And then creating the user. So user ID is 55. Okay. Back to you. There we go. Okay. Looks different now. User ID 55. Okay. It updated and figured that out. Okay, so I think the idea here is that I need to add this in. So even when I put mine in, I need to update my signature with what that is so that I can get it out. I think that's how it works. Geez, that's confusing. Okay. Because it changes this part of it. It's so weird. Oh, and it auto copies to my paste buffer? Wait, Q4, EY Q4, EY. Okay, no, this is correct. Okay, this tool, I don't know why. This tool is confusing me a lot. But I think we have the right idea here. Okay, so okay, so if I just do that and let's rerun our tests. Oh yeah, the verification worked. So the jot secret that I'm using is keyboard cat. Okay, so that seems to be correct. I'm gonna go ahead and do a I want to see test watch. Okay, so now it's just gonna run the new tests that I hit. Okay, so I want the verify to happen. So I'm gonna turn off you. When I have this as like a new string to pull in. This is a backend thing, which means I can use .env no problem. So let's create a .env here. .env is not added in, so that's part of my get ignore, so that's good. I'm going to go ahead and edit my .env. I want you to be, what am I thinking? Probably the jot secret. Keyboard cat. We can go ahead and start you again. And then inside of you, Can I put this into a const? I want to say that I can, right? So const, are you a string? I don't remember if you're a string or if you're a stir. So we're going to use env, because this happens at compile time, if I remember correctly. And environment variable jot secret not defined. Let's see. Jot secret not defined. Do I need .env? Oh, I need .env. I need .env. Instead of a const, the more web framework where it would be putting in a state and having it. Oh yeah, having it I can pass in. Yes, that's probably a better idea. We can have that added in via. Yes, let's do that. But also I need .env. So cargo add .env. Don't think I need either of those to features. Go ahead and run again. Yes, I know. You're unhappy. That's fine. Let's head on over. Okay, so maybe it's probably not utilities. I would probably just maybe in source here, we're gonna create a config.rs. Now you're gonna need to be a pub mod, right? Pub mod config. Inside of config, we're gonna have a pub struct config. So we're gonna have a jot key jot secret, and you're gonna be sure a string. I could do a builder pattern for this, but I think just a new would be fine. So impl, I could have, so I can put this, I can put like the everything here, and then my idea is that main is going to create this and then pass it into the application, which then gets passed everywhere else that needs this. So the question is, do I pass in the secret there? Which I think that I do. So if I impl config, create a jot secret, you're going to be a string. We're going to return a self. And we return a jot secret here. Okay. Then if we head over to main, we are going to pull in .env here. So .env. Was there anything else to do with this? Okay. So pull this in and make sure it handles that. Then I'm going to want to pull in the environment variables. Okay, so it's available here. So let jot secret equals. I can then just use Ha! I wish that it like showed using it there. Maybe. No. Yeah, I wish that its examples had like more here. Unless maybe it does, but that's being cut off by Rust Analyzer. Maybe, I don't know. Let's go to crates. Okay, so I can't use the. I can't use. Okay, I can use the .env macro. That's what it is. I use the .env macro, not the env macro, because that's runtime, right? So I use the .env. .env macro like that. Where do you get that from? Oh. I need .env codegen. Codegen. That's what I need. Okay. Totally missed that. Yeah, let's try it again. There we go. .env is jot secret. You're an unknown. .env. Yep, that's jot secret. Okay. I'm getting some of these, but you're an unknown. Okay, so .env. Huh. I was sort of expecting it to say like, I know you're a string. Okay. Then I want to create the config, and we're going to pass that in. So let config equals pass in the jot secret. Given ownership to that is fine. All right, so then in run, running Axum run. Okay, so we pass it the port, which right now is 3000, but I can also put this. Let's also go ahead and add this to .env here. Port equals 1000. Oh yeah. Okay, so port.env port. Let's add you in to here. Config. We'll add in a port. What type do you need to be? Port U16. Does .env have a fallback call? Maybe it does. Port U16. All right, I'll take a look at that in a second. Port 16. Here we have that. Back to main. Okay, so we pass you all in. Okay, so expected struct string found stir. Expected. Oh, okay. So they're coming in as stirs. Interesting. So .env. So this macro doesn't really give me much. I'm not seeing any official documentation on that, unfortunately. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Let's go take a look at .env code gen. I mean, that doesn't really give me much information here. So it doesn't say if it has the ability. You might also want to switch to .envy. Oh, is that a new thing? Oh yeah. So I always thought that maybe it was just because it worked. Nobody needed to maintain it. Okay, so if I do that, so do the exact same thing for .env, do that. More helpful errors. Okay. All right. So let's try that. This is .env. .env. So we're gonna come here. Okay, so I think it's cargo remove, right? Cargo remove .env. Cargo remove that, and cargo add .envy. Okay. Do I need is there like a .envy code gen now, or is that it? Oh yeah. Components. .envy code gen. A macro from compile time .env inspection. Yeah, okay, so .env code gen. So macro brought up by .envy code gen. .envy code gen not found. This crate has been yanked. Uh-oh. Well, that's a thing. Okay, well, I may not be able to use the macro then. Do they have anything in their repository about that? Interesting. I wonder. Let's see. Yeah, .envy cogen is in here. So oh, look, it's changed. The .env macro provided by .env macro now. Okay, that's what it is. So cargo add that. There we go. Okay. Back to you. Okay, so let's reset this. So .env, this is .env, .env, okay. Okay, so then import that from you. Stacking, hello. We found a new toy. We're using .env. It's interesting. Okay, so then what are you upset about? Okay, so your stirs. You come into stir. So if I say I want you to be like, I don't know, 3005. Expected macro to be called with a comma separated list of string literals. Okay, string literals. So it doesn't like that. So these are going to come as stirs. So then I want to parse. I want to parse this into a U16 here. You're a so weird. These are coming in as stirs. So then this is a 2-owned. You are expected U16, found a result. Okay, so parse and then unwrap. Parse then expect. Unable to parse port into a number. Okay, that makes you happy. Config is unused, so then we start using that. Okay, so we don't take in a port anymore. We take in a config, which is a we can take ownership of it. That's fine. But pretty soon, okay, then you're gonna be config.port here. That's great. All right, so then next up, make service. Okay, so routes create router. So we need to pass the config into here. So this is going to be a reference to the config. You take in a config, which is a reference to a config. then you are going to do each of these things separately. So hello world does not need a config, but this one does. How am I doing this? So then users here. Okay, this is create user like that. Oh, right. Okay, so then what I need to do, okay, this is a handler. You return, okay, you take in a handler H, where H implements handler T and B, where T and B is static. Okay, so I think I need to take these two, and I need to create a function that returns a create user. It's the only thing I can think of. Otherwise, I just put all the stuff in there. But okay, so can I create a function that returns a reference, like just create user without calling it? And if I can, then I can pass in the config to that, have it do a thing, and then return the route that it wants to call. Otherwise, I need to pass in an instance of the router, and it adds a route to it inside of it, which might also be a way to do it. So I can take this router, you're passing, okay, so that's essentially passing around self. I don't know, which way do you think I should go down first? One where I create a higher order function that just returns essentially, create user, but that way I can pass in a config. Or another where I call it and it adds a route to the route. I pass in the router and the config, and then it attaches a new route to the router. I can see both ways being valid. I was just looking at the docs. Does Axum have no sense of state? I haven't seen any major state type things in Axum yet, but I haven't looked that closely. So it possibly no. It's a big yikes for you. So I'm trying to think, like, other backend frameworks that I've used, most of them haven't used state either. It's like I'm thinking of things like Express. There was like the Python Flask. A lot of that is very like not state. I think that's common for backend stuff. Okay, so let's first try the function that returns a route. It's going to be possibly the more difficult one. So if I have a pub, now this is going to be interesting. So if I have a pub function like create user route, this takes in a config. And I suppose that would be it, right? Wouldn't it? And And I'm going to return something. I want to return not JSON user response. Oh, interesting. Okay. Sharing state with handlers. It is common to share some state between handlers, for example, to share a pool of database connections. Okay. So I was thinking like of a global type state, but yeah, this is like passing state back and forth. So using request extensions, using closure captures. The easiest way to extract state in handlers is using an extension as a layer and extractor. Well, I guess Express does have an idea of like of a state, and you use the request and response, and you can just attach state to that. So I don't necessarily think of that as straight state, but I guess that is an absolute state that we do use in node land. Okay, so here we have a state. We have the shared state and arc new. Okay, that's gonna be fun. New. Get route, get handler. Layer extension. Shared state. Handler. Okay, so async function handler takes an extension state, extension arc state. The downside to this approach is that you'll get runtime errors, specifically 500 internal server error response, if you try and extract an extension that doesn't exist, perhaps because you forgot to add the middleware or because you're extracting the wrong type. Well, I mean, okay, but that's like better. Like once you get it working, then you're not going to have that problem. State can also be passed directly to handlers using closure captures. Emil Gardis, hello. Yes, Axum. Okay, so we have our shared, so we start the same way. We have the shared state. Okay, so then dot route users post. Then we have a block in the post. Let shared state equals arc clone. Okay, so we clone the shared state. We move that into a closure, which then returns the create user body. Okay. So we do that, and now down here in create user, we take in state, which is this arc state. Okay. Both of those seem like a pain. I wasn't gonna get there right away. I'd love to give myself credit and say that I was gonna figure out to use an arc, but I probably would have not done that for a while. But it makes sense because I think this is multi-threaded. So we need an arc to handle threads and be thread safe. So that's the thing. Let's see. So extensions actually look a little bit cleaner. So I can just do a layer extension shared state here, and I think that means it's available to everything. Extension state, extension arc state. That's all. Okay, so let's try the extension first. Okay, so we're gonna start with, we create this struct with state in it. Creating a shared state gives us a new arc. Okay. Stacking, thank you so much for this too. It gives us a good way to move forward and have fun in your meeting. Okay, so let's head back to our config. So if we do a new config, I guess I just want to create. Yeah, I might as well just create this as an arc with the state inside right away. So you're going to be an arc with self, then arc new. Is it a tuple? I think it is. Or no, sorry. It's new. All right, so you're happy here. We create our config, which is now this arc config when we pass you in here. So now in run, you take in an arc config, which is fine. Everything's fine still. Now in the router, so create router, we pass it in. Okay, so arc implements dref, so that should be fine. And I think you can clone an arc, because I think it's like RC, right? I can clone an arc, and that's really not a new one. So I don't know if there's actually ever a point. Does arc implement copy too? I don't remember. So let's just say that you are an arc. I need to tell you import arc. All right, so you don't do that. So I think I can clone you, and it's like a very, very, very cheap clone. No copy on arc. Okay, so I believe I might as well at this point just clone arc around, because it's a reference copied thing. I think that's how it works. Arc clone arc is just to make it explicit that you're copying the arc and not the data inside. Oh, because I might do the wrong one. Since arc does, you're right, it does have that. So I should do an arc clone config, but it's a reference. It takes a reference to that. Okay. Okay, so there we go. We're happy there. We go back into create router. We now have a config, which is this arc config that's been cloned in. So I want to create a layer. The layer is an extension. And in the extension, we have this shared state, which is the arc. That's the config. I mean, for that one, it wouldn't matter since the type the function's expected is an arc. Yeah, well, yeah. So it would probably figure it out, but being explicit here is probably a good idea. And you're right. It is good to remember that. I think I just want to be explicit with it, especially with this, especially when we eventually get to like building the course out. So that way everybody sort of knows and understands. Hey, this is a caveat. Okay, so hello world. I ignore the hello world users. I care about you. So we're gonna go into create user. Not doing this silliness anymore. Create user. Okay, so we have the JSON request. I also want to take in That's the extension, right? Yes, extension state. So extension, we have a config, which is an extension arc state. Extension, and you are, yeah, taking ownership. So arc config. Okay, so then I have this config here. So to create, okay, so I create the token here. Create token, we're gonna come into here, and the entire point of this is to say I want to take in a secret, which is a stir. And we're going to do secret here. Nothing else changes there. Okay, so back, we're going to pass in a reference to config.jotSecret. Okay, I like this so far. We haven't run it, so I don't know if I'm going to get that fun 500 error. We might. Then token response, we get all that stuff. Okay, so this is all nice so far. And okay, so everything should be working. Let's go ahead and come back to here. Okay, compiled and running. Hey, still working. Okay, excellent. Then for our tests, okay, expects token username to be the username. So it expects me to put the username in the token, and I am seeing back the username. So this is something we can do. So in our jot here, I want to take in a secret. I want to take in a username, which is a stir. Instead of user ID, let's just throw in a username, which is going to be a string. We're going to take this. Okay, so username dot toOwned. What extension is that? The HTTP request. Oh, this one. Yeah. This is called Thunder Client. So I actually saw it on Web Dev Simplified. They did that YouTube channel did a sort of like introduction to Thunder Client, as opposed to using what was it called? Postman. Postman, and it's pretty much old style Postman. It's very simple. It's lives inside of VS Code. There's some things about it which are a little bit frustrating, but it's also unique per VS Code instance, which is nice. So you can have a workspace per sort of project that you're working on, and then it has all the, like, basically just keeps all the run throughs that you want. But if you have like shared ones, that can be a pain to sort of share them back and forth across all of your stuff. So there's good things, and there's like not amazing things. But it's certainly not bad. Like there's no terrible things that would cause me to sort of like deal break from it. Now, words are hard today. Okay, so so I put in my username. I do all this stuff. So let's hit save. Back to users. You're upset here, so I want to pass in a reference to request user dot username. So in a way, okay, so I do that. Nice. Yeah. Today, I sleep has been hard. Well, was especially hard last night. Ended up staying up really late by accident. So it's it's fun. Okay, so you're still working. And then if we come back to you, I want to rerun. Rerun only failed tests. Change files. Okay, rerun failed tests. You're still running here. Connection refused. Okay, what? Let's. Why are you connection refused? Oh, connection refused for the database. Wait, did you fail? Hold on. Docker compose logs database. And nothing about it crashing, just that role not existing. But that's not necessarily a problem. Okay, let's try npm test. I wonder why this suddenly has this error now. Okay, so next question. If I where am I? So I think there. Okay, so let's open up the Docker Compose. So here's my database. Image, volumes, environment, health check. Oh, well, that's fun. Okay, so I need. So there's expose and there's ports. I think ports is yes. Okay, so I want 5432, 5432. Well, that's gonna be an issue. All right, so then you should be fine, but I need to restart. Okay, so Docker compose down and up again. That might take a little bit of time for it to sort of actually fully spin up, but I don't think it's going to take that much time. And then we can do an npm test. There we go. Okay. Password authentication failed for user Postgres. Okay, well, all right. All right. What do you expect? This Postgres is keyboard cat because I keyboarded cat my keyboarded cat. So, inside of here, I have this .env. I think that .env is yes. This is all localhost stuff. So I want to m.env. I think I try to use keyboard cat in here, and I think I misspelled my misspelling. Keyorb cat. That's what it was. Okay. So if I do that, npm test again. Failed for user Postgres. That's too bad. Okay, so do I have like a, I don't have a GUI like Postgres. I could potentially connect in via, oh, I know. Okay. I could do a Docker compose. Can I do a Docker compose in here? Docker compose PS. Yes, okay. So it's in like a parent directory, so I can figure it out. So I want to do Docker compose exec database. Then I want to connect to PSQL. So if I just try that one, okay, tries to go root. So I want -u Postgres. That just lets me in. -w, ask me. I was really hoping it would ask me for a password. Okay. Next question. Can I do this elsewhere? So can I do Docker run? Okay, Docker run post dash IT. I guess I don't need this IT. I'm gonna do yeah, I guess like when I'm running as that user, that's the problem. Okay, so I want to connect to this from outside. So I'm gonna create another Docker. So Docker run. I don't need IT. I don't need P. Okay, so I'm gonna go Postgres. Sure, why not latest? Yeah, your latest. Okay, that's fine. So Docker run Postgres. Using latest is fine. And then I want to override the command. We're going to use PSQL -u Postgres. I want localhost, but I don't know if it's going to really see it. So like h localhost -w. Oh, yeah. Connection refused. Yeah, so I was really hoping that this would see the localhost port that's running. Because I have it opened on 5432 locally. If you connect to the network, okay, so then I can connect to the network. I forget how to do that. Docker run. Okay, -- network, and then the name of the network or the ID of the network. So I want Docker network ls. This is probably the network we're using. So I want to do this. Network is you. Okay, so then you won't be localhost anymore. Now you'll be database. No password supplied. Okay, great. What's the man? What's okay, fine. PSQL-H. I thought -w. Oh, -W is password forced password prompt. Okay. Yeah, -W. dash u postgres dash h database dash w should yes. Okay, so it's not waiting long enough, so I need to tell this to also wait for me. So what is it? Dash IT. Okay, password, key or cat. That got me in. Okay. So that worked. Now I'm running the tests outside here. So this dot, oh, the wrong dot env. I want I have this dot env, which is okay. So Postgres : / Postgres : keyorb cat at. Now this is localhost because it's my computer that I'm running this on. Database is Postgres. I mean, that should be fine, right? So I checked. Key orb cat is what I put in, yes. And Postgres is the name of the user. Localhost is what it's running on. 5432. Postgres, okay. Well, it shouldn't be this time. It shouldn't be this time because this is all just running on my local system now. So now I'm doing npm test. Password authentication failed for user Postgres. Okay. So I need to figure out what did I do here. Oh, and I don't have this up. That's the next problem. So open up Vue. Oh wait, I need to keep on forgetting. I need to resource the .env before running this, because I'm not using .env for these tests. Usually I put them into a Docker file, so I'm just doing fun things out here. So npm run test here. There we go. Now we got it. Okay, so type error, cannot read properties of undefined reading ID. Where username, user to create, username first, expect created user.id to be data.id. Okay, so I know, classic forgetting to like actually run the .env file. Okay, so this is happening inside of our test here. And specifically, this is line 34. Right here. So expected the created user.id to be data.id. Now, what I've done here for these tests, and this is my like sort of ingenious / evil part of myself, is I first check and like I hit my API and I say, here's a username and password. I expect it to get back a username. I expect it to get back a token, and I expect that token to have the username inside of it. And I expect the secret that's like that I have, that you should also have to be the same. So that way we can I can read the token and I can look into it. Great. Then instead of actually trusting the back end, I reach directly into the database itself and I say, hey, database, I'm going to query the users table, find the username where I just created, get the first one of that, and tell me, is what's your ID? You better be the same ID that you just gave me back. So that's the next step now is to set up Diesel and have Axum connect to the database and store the user inside, because that's obviously not happening yet. But I'm going to have to do that tomorrow because I've run out of time. It is almost 8:30, which means I need to get ready for my day job. I have let's see. It's also Thursday, which means tomorrow we are working on this. I'll be back at 7 a.m. Mountain Time to continue on with it. And I think that's pretty much it. Now let me look at Twitch because I think we have Twitch.tv. I think we have some. Oh yeah, Toggobit is streaming. Is Toggobit about to? No. Toggobit's still going. Let's go ahead and set up a raid for Toggobit. If you don't know Toggobit, he is a Rust streamer as well. He's been doing a lot of really cool stuff. Although I haven't been able to see his stuff recently, but he's been doing making like a TUI application, basically a framework to create terminal applications with like graphics in them. It's pretty cool. So anyways, as I mentioned, I'll be back tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Mountain Time, to continue working on this. We're going to start getting into Diesel and integrating it with Axum, which is going to be fun. So with that, have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Bye.